welcome. This is Sunday Politics live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbale in Abuja. Welcome to our all-new set here in our Abuja studio, everyone. Today, 3 PDP presidential aspirants: Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, Governor of Bauchi State, Bala Muhammad, and former Governor of Kwara State and former Senate President Bukola Saraki have agreed to work together to produce a consensus candidate ahead of the 2023 general elections. The trio met in Bauchi today, where they held discussions over 2 hours behind closed doors before briefing the media. Senator Bukola Saraki speaks on their behalf, and he noted that they would brief the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar on the outcome of the meeting, while stressed that a consensus arrangement becomes necessary to advance the unity of the party and ensure stability of the country. The People's Democratic Party Board of Trustees and the National Executive Committee, the NEC, met last week, where far-reaching decisions for the modalities for determining the party's presidential candidate and primary election were decided on. The party decided to select one person per state to sit on a zoning committee, which will in turn agree and come out on the zoning and the rotation idea or agenda for the party to determine who becomes the presidential candidate. Let's talk about this concept and what it means for the main opposition party in Nigeria, the People's Democratic Party. I'm being joined tonight by a lawyer and a former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, who also served for some time as the Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General of Sokoto State. Mr. Mukhtar Shagari joins us here in Abuja studio. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Happy to be here.
I appreciate it.
Good.
How critical will the zoning arrangement be for your party?
Well, first of all, let me put it this way. People have been talking about zoning, rotational presidency, and the rest of it. The truth of the matter is that that is a sideshow. What the people of this country want is a president that can move this country forward, that can bring unity in our country, that can make all of us feel that we belong to Nigeria and we're Nigerians. It's a sideshow. At the moment, what is happening? It is the APC that is pushing very strongly the idea of zoning. Why are they doing this? They are doing this because they've realized that the Nigerian people have left them. They have also realized that the Nigerian people are yearning for PDP to come back to power so that the good old days will come back to this country of unity, of development, of inclusiveness, of listening to people, and the rest of it. The trap they are setting is to push our own party to also get involved so deeply in the rotational agenda.
Really?
Yes.
They the one pushing your party?
No.
Is that not a contradiction, though?
No, it's not a contradiction.
Because for someone like you,
allow me to learn. Allow me to learn. You've asked me a question, you need an answer. What they are trying to do is they are trying to draw our party into their own agenda. Because don't forget, in 2015, APC was not talking about zoning. That was why, despite the fact that Katsina produced late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory as president of Nigeria, they still went back to the same Katsina and brought President Muhammad Buhari, whom I respect very well, to become the president of Nigeria. What is the somersaulting? All of a sudden, they are not talking about zoning the president to the south, this and that and that and that. We asked the PDP, I want call on the neck of the party, on the governors forum of the party, on the board of trustees, and on the National Working Committee. Let us face what is important to Nigerians. What is important to Nigerians is forming a government that can take this country forward. And what is also important to the members of our party is winning the election. It's not about where the presidential comes from. A ticket does not give you anything. it only makes one of you to be the candidate. What is important is winning the election. When you win the election, then you can now talk about sharing positions and offices and so on and so forth to take care of the people that are participated in politics.
Right. So because
the issue is this.
The
issue is this. Our party should be very careful. We are not going to allow ourselves to be drawn into that debate. The committee that has been set up by the PDP to look at the zoning, I think should have been a committee to look at the issues that can make us win election in 2020 so that Nigerians can have retrieve. Every Nigerian today is suffering. Every Nigerian today is crying, including the members of the APC itself. The issue for Nigerians is not where the president comes from. What is important is competence. What is important is the integrity of the candidate. What is important is the ability of the candidate to be able to take Nigeria forward. So we are not going to be drawn into this issue the APC is pushing. Nigerians are wiser. They will not listen to those lies. They will not listen to that propaganda of a rotational president say and the rest of it, which they never canvassed when they wanted to take over power in 2015. And we, the PDP, we are a party that can be trusted by Nigerians. We are a party that can deliver, and we have delivered before, and we intend to deliver for Nigerians and make life better.
All right, so
the political party that is in power now.
Apologies, let me cut in quickly and come in. You've said the rotation and zoning is a sideshow.
Yeah.
For what is important for your party is competence.
Yes.
I'm interested that you're a very senior lawyer, and the intent of the drafters of our Constitution is that power and wealth is distributed across the country. And if you say at this point that rotation and zoning does not matter, so there will be a big question that will be asked by those who feel left out in the sharing, in being carried along, and asking whether or not the only competent people are from a certain region of the country. It's a fear for your party to say zoning is no longer on the table when your party, in fact, started talking about it since 1999. You brought Olusegun Obasanjo, your party brought him out of prison in 1998 to become president of Nigeria to satisfy a region of the country. Those are some of the narratives that were pushed for at the time. So for 16 years or more, your party has maintained the issue of zoning. Why is it now a non-issue?
Well, I think this is where you people always get it wrong. In 1999, PDP did not produce Obasanjo because of zoning. President Obasanjo was brought by the PDP in order to satisfy what has been termed to be injustice then to the people of Southwest by June 12th. So the PDP felt that, look, this is the time for us to look at all these issues and heal the wounds. That was why President Obasanjo was brought in. He was not brought in because of any zoning. Nobody talked about zoning at that time. We knew our country had problems. We knew that people were dissatisfied. We knew that Abiola was voted by Nigerians and he was denied the mandate. So we decided that, look, this is the time to heal the wound. PDP is a party that heals the wounds of Nigeria. PDP is the party that cares about Nigeria and Nigerians. PDP is the party that is formed by responsible people in this country who have participated in politics for over 4 decades. They came together and decided that, look, this is the way we should go, and this is the way it has to be. But to say that PDP brought Obasanjo because of zoning is totally wrong, and you know it.
But, Your Excellency, with all due respect, you talked about healing the wound. And the issue, in fact, the intent of those drafters of the Constitution, when they brought about the sharing, how every region of the country needs to be carried along, is for those who feel left out to be properly adjusted into the scheme of things in the country. If you were not talking about healing the wound, why would Obasanjo come in? If you were not talking about healing the wound and satisfying the section of the country, why is the concept and the principle of zoning in the first place? Is it not to satisfy a region of the country? The zoning and rotation arrangement, isn't it a PDP idea from the onset? So why is it not less important in 2023? That would be the question that a lot of people will be asking.
The issue is this. You brought the issue of President Obasanjo. and I've told you it's totally wrong. After that, after President Obasanjo, it was not the PDP that said, let's zone the presidency to the north. The PDP left this as a democratic party for every member of the party who wants to participate to be president of Nigeria to take part in it. It was President Obasanjo that felt that, look, the best candidate we should take should be Shehu Musa Yar'Adua from Katsina, because he has all the credentials required to be the president of this nation. And when elected, he proved to the Nigerian people, yes, he was a good choice. So it was not the PDP that sat down and said, okay, look, we are zoning the presidency to the north.
Are you disowning the concept of zoning as originated or as birthed by the PDP in their conventions, in their political convention?
You see, zoning is good. Zoning is good, but we have made it consistently clear to you and to everybody, and you know it. The Constitution of Nigeria has no provision in it which says that we should do zoning when it comes to issues of presidential election. There is no section in that decision. And if the Constitution does not say something, you can either adopt it to do it on yourself, or you can either decide not to do it. So PDP, if we say now, look, we are looking at the problems this country is facing, which is far bigger than the issue of zoning. The issue before everybody in this country is that things are not working. We do not have power in the country. Insecurity is everywhere. The economy is collapsing. The political space has been muddled up. And the ruling party cannot even take care of its own party, let alone take care of it. So what is important to Nigerians, including yourself and everybody here and everybody listening to us, is to take Nigeria back to the right track. And it's only the PDP that can do that. We will not allow the zoning issue, which is being propagated now by the APs that never believe in zoning, to now distract us from ensuring that we work with the Nigerian people, take over power in 2023, and make sure that Nigeria is back on track. Our economy is in tatters. We used to be the biggest economy in Africa. We used to be one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Where are we today? We are simply nowhere. Security was good. Now, as I'm talking to you, you cannot get into your car and start going to Kaduna. Before you get there, your tongue will be in your mouth. Your heart will be in your mouth because you do not know what's going to happen to you. We want Nigeria in which you can travel from here to Lagos without fear of being kidnapped, without fear of anything happening to you. Whereby if you live here, your family will feel competent, will actually feel confident that you are going to get back home. Nigerians are looking for the government that can take care of them. And they know from 1999 to 2015, the PDP government took care of all problems of Nigeria. We reached a stage whereby Nigeria was not owing a single kobo. Tell me, how much is Nigeria owing today as a debt, which perhaps will have to be paid by your own grandson? The issue is not about zoning. Zoning, as far as I'm concerned, is a shared issue, and I'm calling on the members of our party and all the stakeholders in our party not to concentrate more on the issue of zoning, to concentrate more on how we are going to win election and put out this government that has destroyed this nation. That is the issue.
Let me now we should be able to listen to Senator Bukola Saraki at that meeting that they had today in Bauchi. Take a listen to Senator Bukola Saraki on the concept of the consensus that may emerge between Atiku Abubakar, Bukola Saraki, governor of Bauchi State, and Aminu Tambuwa, governor of Sokoto State. Take a listen to him.
Together harmoniously, committed, and with a lot of reserve and energy, there will be a great hope for this country going ahead. We appreciate that three of us have shown aspiration to lead this country, but we also come to realize that we're all capable, competent, and fit to lead this country. By the end of the day, it's only one person that will lead this country in 2023. And we also resolved that we're going to work closely together to ensure that we'll come out with a way that a consensus arrangement will come amongst the three of us of how going forward into leading this country. We believe our role is to make things easier for us to have stability. Because if there's stability in PDP, there will be stability in Nigeria. A You all see that APC is no longer a party. It is having challenges of administering its party, and anybody that cannot administer it cannot administer the country. So the only option left for Nigerians is PDP. And we believe that because of that level of responsibility, we must bury our personal ambition secondary to the ambition in this country. We cannot speak on behalf of anybody who is not here, but we've agreed to go and share our thoughts with our elder brother, the Waziri, to let him know. And I'm sure, I'm hopeful, but I cannot speak. When we speak to him and share our thoughts, then we'll be able to comment on that area. And lastly, I think what we're talking about here is that there are those of us who have shown interest that we know of, that are well known. It so happens that those of us who have shown interest that we're aware of and we work with happen to also come from the north, and that's the focus for now.
Senator Bukola Saraki, after the meeting where the governor of Bauchi, governor of Sokoto State and himself had a meeting and talking about consensus. Well, let me bring in yet another perspective into this. Yet another member, a chieftain of the PDP, joins me from Ikoyi area of Lagos. Chief Olabode George joins us from Ikoyi area of Lagos. Thank you so much, Chief George, for joining us tonight. You perhaps have been listening to His Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State. Give us your thought. Will it be fair for your party to say zoning is no longer relevant or should not take a front seat when you're talking about who becomes the candidate of the PDP ahead of 2023? What are your thoughts?
Now, thank you for inviting me to join in this conversation. This is the most important conversation before we drive into the channel of election. You know, listening to the former Deputy Governor of Sokoto, I saw a lot of distortion and a lot of misinformation. And we have to be extremely very careful. The summary of what he's saying is that, yes, we don't need any zoning. We need the best man to, of course, any political party that is worth its salt needs the best hand to do it. But let me go back into the history. The first republic of this country, when we had the NPC in government, we had the Action Group, we have the NCNC. The majority, both north and south, were to be seen and heard. The minorities in the north were to be onlookers. The same with the minorities in the south. That created a lot of friction in this nation, dissatisfaction. And people now came out to realize that, look, we cannot continue like this. That led to the coup, the civil war, the military intervention, and all that. So in 1998, for the first time in the history of this country, there were some elders who had been practitioners of the First and Second Republic, came together and decided that, look, let there be this oneness. Why are we fighting? And they realized that the sectionalism, the tribalism, most political parties were completely tribal in their outlook. They claim one representing Southwest was Chibola Ige, the late Chibola Ige. You would never have imagined that Chibola Ige will sit in the same political room with Dr. Alex Ekweme discussing politics, or with Papa Jinwobodo with Alex Ekweme. It was impossible. Or Papa Solomon La discussing with Alhaji Shiroma or Bamanga Tuku, or even the Talakawa party, Alhaji Rimi from the north. So they came out with this novel. It was a gift to this country to remove the issue of minority, majority, and that is what the summation of the presentation of the deputy governor is driving back at. We are leaving that behind and building a one indivisible country called Nigeria. Now, they came out with these solutions. First of all, Nigeria as it exists, even in our own present national constitution, does not talk about zones. But they came out with this novel idea: northwest, northeast, north central, southwest, southeast, south-south. And there were 6 top positions created by these old men: the president, the vice president, the senate president, the speaker, the secretary to the government, and the national chairman of the party. 6 top positions. Every zone will go home with one of these, so that nobody will be left behind. So you are creating that sense of oneness. You are creating that sense of belonging. You are creating that sense of involvement in the nation called Nigeria. Rather than having this cacophony of voices, everybody pulling in different directions. And that was what they brought about. So when you look at it, the executive with the legislative arm, with the party, will have a synergy. Very novel. And it's not only here that it's still practiced. If you go to the country called Switzerland, the only country in the heart of Europe that had never experienced any wars, the First and the Second World Wars, they were not part of it. Even till today, they don't have a standing army in Switzerland. What happened? You have the Germans in Zurich, you have the Italians in Lugano, and you have the French in Geneva. What do? For peace to reign, they rotate the headship of that country. And they had peace. So what we are saying is what the deputy was saying is that...
Chief Judge, you've established a very critical
and go to our constitution.
History, a political history of Nigeria.
Go to our constitution. No, wait a minute.
As a chieftain of the PDP, from the meeting you had...
Let me finish.
Let me ask you, will it be fair to zone in a particular region of the country, or you want to leave it open? In your own view, where do you think will be best for your party to zone the presidency for 2023?
Now, you see, I went historical to bring about what happened, what transpired. Because if you forget your history, you are bound to commit the same mistakes going forward. That is why I was trying to tell you that our party, it is in our ground norm that zoning and rotation will be the canal, the heart of our party. It will be like the spinal cord of the party. And if you break the spinal cord of a human being, it will either be crippled for life or it will be dead. So when you now say you want to throw it away, are you telling Nigerians that it's only in certain parts of the country that you have people who have the competence or the courage to rule Nigeria? How can there be peace? My best friend is still a Fulani man, and I have no qualms about that. But justice, fairness, and equity must be the dictating norms for our party going forward. Going forward, are you saying we don't have anybody in the southern part? What we are telling people, we have no right as a party to tell any individual you cannot contest, because it will be illegal. But what we can do as a party, because it is the major part of our ground norm, that zoning and rotation must be part. Whatever has been in the north after 8 years must come to the south. Whatever has been in the south for the last 8 years must go to the north. And rotation. So it guarantees that commitment. It guarantees that oneness. So it guarantees that you have a sense of belonging to this country called Nigeria.
In that sense,
and I want to advise my brother.
From the background that you have given, where do you think it would be fair to zone presidency for your party in 2023?
Now, let me now come to this political equation. I'm looking at it now as an engineer. There's a political equation, straight line equation, y equals mx plus c. When they conceptualized this idea, nobody in their wildest dream thought there could be another political party that could produce the president. You understand? We had a simple political equation. But now, haven't seen that another party could produce the president. Because I remember in one of our meetings, somebody said, oh, the South had been in power, had been produced presidents for 14 years, and the North only 2 years. Yes, if you look at it that way, you say, oh, why not? But President Buhari, where is he from? That is the extra parameter in the political equation that must be considered. Where is he from? Is he from the Southeast? Is he from Lagos State? He is a Hausa Fulani man that had ruled for 8 years. So you should add that into perspective. But the beauty of this is, in the wisdom of our neck, the discussions went there, they were robust, they were clear, they were intellectually informed, and in their wisdom, they said, okay, let's take a look at this. Let's meet one representative per state. It is brilliant. The party meeting ended on that fresh breath, on that sensible situation. We will go in there. Yes, it is important to look at the characters of those who want to be president, but it is mandatory, it is legitimate for the party to say, yes, this is zoned to the south or to the north. But to leave it wide open is combustible. It is kicking the can down the road. We, our party, those founding fathers, made sure that the colors of this country make up the rainbow called PDP. The other political parties were all still tribal, AMPP, AD. But suddenly they congregated, and that congregation is a congregation of strange bedfellows. You can see how totally disorganized they are now. Yeah. Yes, PDP can manage Nigeria, PDP can do it. But let us.
But just in about 30 seconds before we go on that break, that 37-member committee for the zone in which your party has set to put together, there are 19 members who are from the north, 17 from the south, based on the distribution of states across the region of the country. We have the FCT, which makes it 36 states. But out of the 37, you have 20 of those members from the north, including the FCT. 17 are from the south. So the question is that, will it be fair, even if they put it to a vote, and the north votes in one way, and the south votes in one way? Will the south not lose out? That's a question I'm asking you because you're a southern leader of the PDP.
I am aware of that. This is not a matter of voting. This is not a matter of deciding that you are going to now subject it to voting. What you are telling the others is that you can go to hell. No, this is a family meeting. We are brothers and sisters in the same family. When it comes to family issues, you don't vote. You do it, you base it purely on moral suasion. We will put forward convincing arguments, robust discussions, healthy discussions that will still hold this country together. We cannot afford to break it. Those guys, the old founding fathers, gave this nation a beautiful gift. And that gift is for us to remove this emblem of division, this thing that can tear Nigeria into pieces. We look, it's been happening in Switzerland. Why can't we do it here? You mean I have traversed the length and breadth of this nation? There is no part of this country I have not visited. God has given every part of this country beautiful, reasonable, respectable resources, both human and otherwise. Go anywhere. The one major issue that will be the kernel of this campaign is, do you still want us in this union? Do you still respect us in this union? I see the beauty of it. If we come together, like they say in my local parlance,
we're doing for a break.
You can't be a member of an association when you are not there.
Yeah. So when I come back, And when we come back from that break, I'll get your closing thought and that of His Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, on the issue of zoning. Stay with me, everyone. Don't forget also, our attention will shift to the APC and the jostle for the chairmanship seat of the party amidst the tension and the fever over the Saturday National Convention. We'll be joined by one of the top contenders in the national chairmanship race of the APC. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's now wrap up our conversation with Chief Olabode George, a member of the People's Democratic Party Board of Trustees and the former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State and one-time Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Sokoto State, Mr. Mukhtar Shagari. Thank you so much. I'd like you to wrap up to react to what Chief George said.
Well, first of all, let me say that I have very strong respect for Chief Olabode George. He's my father. And he was one of the people that really mentored me as a politician. But he has spoken about fairness and justice. In 2007, he was the Deputy National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party. I went for a primary election, which I won with 80% of the votes. And he was one of the people that decided that my ticket should be taken and given to somebody who joined the party the same day. And a meeting was held in the villa with him, where it was said, when that person finished his term, the ticket will go back to me. He's still alive. When the time came, I didn't see him there. So talking about fairness and justice, I think we really have a long way to go. Now, coming back to the issue of zoning, he has brought up some historical perspective into it. In the First Republic, there was nothing like zoning. What happened was power sharing. In the Second Republic, there was nothing like zoning. What happened was actually power sharing. And we lived together and were happy. Even in even the Third Republic, when Obasanjo became the president, what happened was total power sharing. We were all happy about it. When President Umaru Adwa came in, what happened and people were happy about was power sharing. When Jonathan came in, what happened was power sharing and people were very happy about it. Zoning, if you look at it properly, is completely unconstitutional because the constitution of this country has given every Nigerian the right to participate in election. That is why it is participatory democracy. And if you say that, okay, one section has no right to participate in being the president of Nigeria, you are disenfranchising them, and you are also stepping on their constitutional right to be part of it. The main issue is, at the moment we are in emergency. This country has problems, we are in trouble. What we are saying is this. Let's forget about this issue of zoning now and look for the best person from anywhere, from any part of this country. Anybody, in fact, in the Southwest, they have so many good people. Olabode George is one of them. Highly experienced, highly competent. In the Southeast, they also have people, Jimo Mabado and the rest of them. In the South-South, they also have. In the North, we also have. Let's open the space to allow people to come and participate so that we can get the best for Nigeria, because Nigerians are tired of what is happening. The pain is so much. Everybody is suffering. And I'm calling on this committee put together by the PDP. They should be very careful not to fall into the trap of APC. APC has problems. They want us to have our own. We will not allow them.
If you're not careful, if you zone, you might lose the election. That's what you're saying.
If what?
I said if your party is not careful and you zone, you might lose the election.
Well, losing the election depends on the electorate themselves. But the issue, what I'm saying is that what Nigerian people are talking about, I know about it, you know about it, PDP knows about it, APC, is that they are looking for somebody that is competent. And that person should be allowed to come from any part of this country. Whether in the Southwest, Southeast, South-South, North-Central,
let's close this conversation now.
Let me bring, okay for us.
Let me bring back...
Nigerians are not going to be allowed to be allowed themselves to be fooled by sentiments of zoning. The issue is competence and the right person who has the character and who is known to be a good person, and who is known to be a performer, and who is known to have performed.
Your Excellency, we need to wrap up this conversation, and let me get a final thought of Chief George. As we wrap up now, what's your final thought on this matter, so we can close?
You mean, that's to me now, right? So, is that addressed
yes,
to me?
Please go ahead. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your final
Okay.
thought. Yes.
All right. Now, first of all, let me respond to what the former deputy governor said. I don't even remember that. And if a meeting was held in the villa, that definitely couldn't have been me managing the crisis at that time. That is just a management process. All right? If I was there, doesn't mean I am the president or the leader. I'm just a participant. And it must have been in the interest of the party. I don't remember that. That's a long while ago. But let me now come to this. When you talk about the zoning not important, please, as a lawyer, go to the constitution of the PDP. Section 3, subsection C, states unequivocally that zoning and rotation must be a major parameter in coming to a decision where the presidential candidate must come from. And it is usually, it is usually between the North and the South.
Let's switch gears now. The APC will on Saturday hold a national convention, but it's unclear some of the details of their plans. Well, the chairmanship role of the party is keenly contested, and we have a few people who have picked the nomination from Senator Sani Musa to the former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, Abdullahi Adamu, and a host of others who have picked the form. Tonight, I'll be joined by one of the top contenders, but one of them, interestingly, had pulled out of the race, and that is the former governor of Borno State. Take a listen to him on the reasons why he pulled out of the race.
The party has taken a position that the position of the national chairman should go to the North Central, meaning it is exclusively zoned to the contestants of the North Central zone. Being someone who respects the rule of law and respects our leaders, no party can take a zoning formula where you have a leader of the party in any setting where there is a government. The president is the leader of the party. And the president has taken a position. I've always told you that I will contest if it is zoned to my zone. That has been my statement, always. Therefore, because of my respect of the leadership of President Muhammad Buhari and the party, I will not contest.
Senator Alimadu Sharif there, pulling out of the race. Now, let's speak with one of the top contenders, because the next few days will be very important. And tonight, we're being joined by a sitting senator from Niger State, Senator Sani Musa, who is popularly called in his party. Yeah, means his colleagues as 313. Thank you so much, for coming. Why did they call you 313 anyways?
Thank you, Shane. We can discuss that another time. Let's discuss matters.
Well, it's interesting. You picked your form.
I did.
And you think... are you favored by the president or from the villa?
Did I hear you very well? If I'm favored by the president or the villa?
By the villa, yeah.
The president is the leader of APC, and it's for all.
But, I mean, we know that the president, as the leader of your party, has preferences. I mean, the way and manner you want.
Just as every individual will have preferences. You like something. And it's your choice. Mr. President has every right to have his preference.
But do you think you wish you could be his preference?
I wouldn't know. I could be his.
Are you?
I'm not sure. I can be.
I mean, which of the caucus or which of the units of the party is really pushing and rooting for you?
everyone in APC is my constituency. I don't know about a bloc or a group of people that will push for me. What I know is that we have APC membership, and we have stakeholders, and we have those that are leading the party as of today. And all I do is to rally around all the organs of the party as it is today, to seek for the support so that I'll be able to come with a new for APC.
Why do you want to be the national chairman of the party?
Yes, because I so much believe that we have the foundation for democracy in this country, but the pillars are still very shaky. And those pillars are the political parties. If we make our political parties become very strong and become an institution, those we elect to govern will be able to have the right direction. They will be able to meet up with modern technological know-hows of governing. The world is a global village today. We cannot remain where we are. We have to move. We have to shift. Development is coming rapidly when you acclimatize yourself with what is happening elsewhere in the world. We are copying this democracy. And all we need to do is to be able to adapt to those terms, regulations, those things that will make our democracy very thick. And we cannot have a thick democracy when we have a shaky political parties.
I mean, your party is in dire strait right now. I mean, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of division in your party. And for those who have said, I mean, when the president leaves office, I mean, your party might find its footing very difficult. Are you ready, or how would you handle such a troubling time that had been predicted for your party?
Sure, you have to remember that APC today is the largest political party in Africa. We have over 43 million membership. And you cannot even expect that where more than 2-3 people live, they will not have some kind of differences. So a political party that is so large like APC, and you expect that we will not have some little problems here and there, then we must be joking. But the problems are very surmountable. We are going to come out very strong. And if I have my way to lead this party, I'm coming with a mechanism for conflict resolution. And how do I do it? Take example with what has been happening in the countries like Indonesia. When they did a political party reform, in order to make their political parties become institutions, whereby they abide by the books, things change. In Nigeria, we have very intelligent people. The politicians we have in Nigeria are one of the best in kind of intelligence. But the only thing is that we don't tend to go by the books. And once we be able to adapt that, I believe that Nigeria will get a better political party structures, and we have a leadership that is very strong and decisive. That's all we need. And we move on.
You heard the commentaries about your party, that your party, that made the PDP, the former deputy governor saying, look, Nigerians need to chase your party out of power because a lot of things are not working.
First and foremost, let me tell you that in the better half of our administration, especially after coming back in 2019, there was the pandemic, which is beyond everyone's control. But yet, this administration has been able to manage our economy. We did not go into recession. But 16 years of oil boom were not only recession, we were in depression. The country was comatose. I'm surprised when I hear people talking about PDP, everything was fine, and today APC, something is wrong here, something is wrong there. Tell me, what are the indices of development? You have very good infrastructure. We're in this country when a government spends so much millions of dollars to give us electricity. Was there any electricity then? Can you compare the electricity we're having today with what we used to have?
The
last 7 years.
Figures are that we've dropped from 5,000 megawatts to 2,000, over 2,000 megawatts.
Can you tell me before 2015 we're having up to 1,300 megawatts? Tell me, do we? So, I mean, we are human beings. We easily forget things. But I can tell you, when you look at the economic indices today, if you look at every developmental factors, you will see that APC has done tremendously better in 7 years than the 16 years we have wasted.
So let me take you back to the contest. Should there be a consensus and it's not in your favor, what would you do?
I am a very loyal party man, and I believe in the leadership of Mr. President. Mr. President is honest, sincere, a man of integrity. Whatever the president will decide, and officially I get to know about it, why not? Why would I why will I not go with what the leadership of my party will want? But there is a communication gap. And not until that communication gap is filled, things will be getting wrong. Because you go on social media, what we hear on social media is completely different from what we will hear from sources that we feel are very close to Mr. President.
So you'll be willing the president speak to the contenders directly?
If the president speaks to us and tells us what he wants us to do, as abiding citizens of this country, and with the respect for that office, with the respect and integrity of that man, I don't think any one of us will stop him having what he wants.
So do you want consensus or you want to go into the arena?
Our party has 3 methods in our constitution of the party, we have 3 methods. We have direct, indirect, and consensus. Anyone that comes, fine.
How do you measure should you go into, or how would you measure, should you go into the arena against some of the big wigs? The Tanko Al-Makura.
In a gauge of 1 to 10.
Abdullah Adamu.
In a gauge of 1 to 10, I will tell you, I'm between 8 and 9. And that is excellent to me.
You can defeat the likes of George Akume.
I can do it because I am coming with a new.
With a what?
With a new. I'm coming with something that is not there before. I'm going to restructure this party to make it what it is, to make it an institution that you and I, every Nigerian, will be proud of having membership of it.
You think the APC is not in the shape that everyone is proud of?
Today, the political structure in this country needs to be rejigged.
And you think you are the right man for the job?
And I can do it.
What is your profile that makes you think that you are fit for that job?
What makes anyone feel that a party with 42 million or 43 million dynamic youths, intelligent youths, between the age of 18 and 35, the best productive age group, we cannot make a difference? Why do we have number of people seeking employment? Why must everyone be dependent on
So
government?
the question is whether you have the administrative pedigree to be able to handle it.
I do have the administrative pedigree. I'm a senator, crying out loud. I'm a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I've been a successful businessman for 33 good years. From 0 digits to 6 digits, from 6 digits to 12 digits. I'm a proud Nigerian that I believe that I can be able to hold any position in this country and make it much better than it is today.
So you're the right man for the job?
I'm the right man for the job.
Senator Sani Musha, I wish you the very best. This is probably not the last. We'll probably hear from you again before your convention. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Enjoy the rest of your evening.